Even third, I thought he was going to get picked a lot earlier as well.
All right, now it's time for the starting lineups. Game 2. It's the first game of the year for the Cavs. Here is their starting lineup. Like a pro at the 1. Got a 2K. He's a lockdown defender at the 2. Sick. He's in the middle as a sharpshooting rebounder. Larry, welcome back. He's at a rim protector. And Strainer is a shot-creating sharpshooter, making his debut as a rookie from Texas. On the other side, a team that's already 1-0 on this young season. They took care of Dallas. Here is their starting 5 again. Doza at the point, just became the first Intel player of the game. Slim's at the 2, had a nice opening game for him. King Quay in the middle. Trey is at the 4 as a slashing stretch 4. And then Kenny got work, and he put in work in that first game. 17 points there as a lockdown defender at the 3. So here we go, Dirk. We got Raptors, Cavs. Cleveland will be the home team. And all I can think of right now is Hot Pockets.
They make it known no matter where you are, when a Cavs league's in Jersey or when you're on the court. The big things for this, looking into the archetypes that kick the game off. All right, here we go.
Let's get it done.
Okay, right off the bat.
Strainer's like, yeah, I'm a rookie. How about this 3? Bang.
The big thing for this, and I know this has happened 6-11, so it plays the pick and roll, and then what you're gonna do is put Sick in the corner and have him rebound out of the corner. Makes life so much easier in that pick and roll defense. So we'll see if they do make side.
Kayvon in chat says, is this game number 2? Yes, sir, it is. First game of the year, though, for the Cavs. As the Raptors already with a big opening win. And I think that was an air ball layup, but I'm gonna keep it 100. And boy, here comes this defense for Raptors. They were super active in the line. No, sir. Larry couldn't go up and get it. Down on the baseline. Doza. Straight ahead 3. And look at that transition. And old Dukarewski. It's like a pro, leaking out, a little cherry picking. And he'll get his first bucket of the year.
Something you're going to see a lot of this year, too, because it wasn't as effective last year. It's a lot of break starters. You're just R1, L1 to throw it to the furthest player up the court if you're the center on the rebound. So then you're able to get it time and time again.
Larry getting in the passing lanes. And there's a foul on Kenny, stopping the break. At HK, RBN wants to know, what console are they playing on? Well, we don't have consoles in the league. We play on Alienware systems. It's a league bit.
So that's, no, they probably want more, to be honest with you.
I got to know who chat has in this game. I know the Raptors played well, but all of a sudden they're down 8-0 to start this one off. Give me a 1 for Cavs, 2 for Raptors. Woo! Or you can use the emotes if you're a subscriber to the channel. I'm not gonna stop you from subscribing. And there's a foul by Quay. And we talked about it, home court advantage, not only virtually, but here in the studio. That's what you get when you get with some of these guys like Peroxide. He brings his fam, Larry brings his fam. That's why you were surprised the Bucks weren't better last year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the guy, if you put him at center, you're looking at him automatically solidifying himself as a top 3 center in the game. I mean, I think even with him not playing the position, if he got the chance to really shine, that's where exactly where it would have been. And this is the guy right here getting every single opportunity. But look on the defensive end right now for Cavs Legion. We said, will they put Larry on the pick and roll? No, they're keeping Sick, but we make a pass to the corner. If Larry plays it right, he can end up snagging it.
Strainer was the 51st pick in the draft and has 6 points already. Oh, he put somebody on skates! Woo! And he almost finished.
Move there too is you start to see the player who's in front of him went for the blitz. So if he's putting the ball in his left hand, if you time it right, you just turbo and press square break. But when you trigger that behind the back at the perfect time, you saw how much space that he had to where he could stop and pop from mid-range if he wanted to. That's not what's going through your mind. Like, well, I just cooked this guy. Let me go finish it off with some pizzazz.
This is not golf. The lowest score does not win the game. If you're the Raptors, you got to get involved here. I know you got a win already, a big win, 8 points already in the group stage. Doza, see if he can get his squad back in it. Boy, in and out. Quay with a board, and there's a foul down low. One. Production crew been here for days, putting in hard work. And that was a tough bucket.
It's usually one that never goes in either. Usually just at the line shooting too, but I guess the only way you can make the sense out of that is a smaller defender, but Anyway, those are like impossible to time. You're just kind of just going up with it. You get fouled, and then you hope and pray that the ball ends up dropping in the hoop.
Guy in the chat, King of Green, says I'm already going Coltrane dad cringe mode. Strainer. Boy, if he hit that, I was leaving. I've been gone for the rest of the day. Trey, nice job. A little hop step and throws it down. It cuts it to 9.
This is the best way just to create when you have that build, the athleticism of it, even though it's a secondary archetype. Just you being able to have the badges and then just a little bit of the speed that works on into it. I mean, you're not the slowest guy on the court when you're 6'11". You actually have pretty good speed for being that height. So if you can just get off a hop step or a euro, you're good.
Trey gets ripped on the way up. Boy, have the Cavs been stingy. And
that's not what you're seeing. I mean, you're in 15 seconds away from getting into that territory. We only have 1 foul to give, but now you have to be even more cautious just for the entirety of the game. Meanwhile, for the Cavs, when you do go onto the defensive end, you can actually just burn a foul here if you really want to from one of your locks before you hit that 2-minute mark.
14-4. Doza, as cold as it is outside here in New York. Trying to work some screens. It's like the 3rd screen, lobs it up. Boy, they need some momentum. Maybe that'll get it going.
Guarantee bucket every single time, but it's more of a bailout bucket when things aren't working. Send somebody on a cut, put them on the low block, get a standing lob. It's something that's almost always there.
Larry trying to fight through the contact, able to regain possession here. 10 on the shot clock. Strainer. Old Dr. Strain. Can't get it to go. Strainer once again. Larry in the corner. Triple. That's his first bucket of the year.
That's something from playing with Strainer and also playing against Strainer at times. This is a guy, when he doesn't have the ball, he's looking to go to the corners every single time.
Marcus Glenn! Timeout!
That's exactly what you want to see, the patient play and just the L2 just trying to work to get it. And now, look, you got a point guard who's cold, you got a pure lock with his badge. It's not a pretty sight. And now, since you're running the double locks, you don't have a secondary ball handler. The power forwards aren't going to be utilized for that.
Takeover time. Got a 2K has it going. Trey, tough bucket. They've turned it over 7 times. That's, boy, do they need that one. And there's a reach on Kenny. Remember, they're in the bonus. Able to make the first. Scott Cole and Dirk along with you. I want to remind you, you're watching the tip-off powered by AT&T. We're glad to have them a part of the 2K family. Season 2 of the NBA 2K League. We're so glad to be back. This is just the 2nd game. Got a 2K. We'll get into Strainer. See if they try to go 2 for 1 here. But Kenny, it's all over him.
Each bump that Kenny gets, that's where the bruiser badge comes into play, takes down the stamina of the player who's trying to move around the ball, and that's where the locks, they can sit there and time these reaches, and that's why you start to bump them. You get maybe 2 bumps, you know that their stamina is going to be down pretty low.
Well, you got time to hold it for 1 shot, but instead you're going to give Cavs a possession here. Under 10 to go in the first. They go to Sick, and he lobs it up to Larry! Lob City is now in clear. Final look of the quarter. Quay, no way. Overs has turned into a lot of points. And we had a little bit of a delay there while we had an admin looking at some audio snafu there for Doza. Don't have any information on it, but he seems like he's ready to go now. Quay, this time he hits it. He missed it at the end of the quarter, but puts him in double figures. So the Raptors 1-0. Here in the tournament, all 8 points in the groups. That's the maximum points you can get. Right now, it's looking like they're going to need it because Cleveland came to play, but we got a long way. Right back here after the timeout, 23-11. Larry to trigger. He will inbound here. It's an into Sick. It actually advanced it past half court. They called timeout just in case. They run a play. And it was a lob. And he'll stay with Cavs.
A lot of lobs.
Cavs Legion. A lot of brand new faces, brand new coach. We talked about Austin Peterson. And he's had him come to play. Strainer. That's the kind of alley-oops I do. I can't get up there, so a little layup alley-oop still counts as 2.
Yeah, that's a big part of 2K this year is you're going to see a lot more alley-oops utilized. And just for the reason being that you might be able to catch it, get a layup off of it, but also when you catch it, even if you don't decide to go up with it, you're still able to create some space for yourself down low because the other players are getting out of position themselves. But this is tough because you can see they're running some wraps, they're trying to get the matchup switch, but no matter which way you go, you're getting a lockdown on you. So for Like a Pro to get something going, it's just going to be very tough to do.
Like a Pro here on the baseline. Only 2 points for him. Hasn't got a lot of touches. Here comes the Raptors back the other way, and Strainer's got to give him a foul there. It's going to be his first, and we're going to have a G League team to the parent company of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm going to weird flex. I did call one of their games on NBA TV. So am I cool now? I have AirPods. Is that good? Like a Pro.
The AirPod Flex, one of the weirdest things that we've had so far in 2019.
12-point ball game. Larry lobs it up. Strainer can't get it to go. Doza, nice crossover, creates some space. They got to get something going here. They look fantastic against Dallas. Ooh. And now they've tried to go to Lob City.
So it makes more sense going towards trade just because, like we said, he has the athletic as an archetype, so he's better Lob City finisher to finish those. He might get some outrageous ones where you sit there and like, oh my, like how was this even happening?
Like a Pro at the elbow. Steps back, able to hit the jumper. Last year in the Bay with Golden State, averaged 12.3 a game.
Lob City finisher for Strainer too, so you're not going to see these super athletic slams every single time. It's going to give him that more little basic catcher because there's at least somebody down in towards the paint putting pressure on whoever's going up for the alley-oop.
Here the fans of O'Leary erupt as he gets another bucket. He's got 10. And Doza able to get it to go. In the first quarter, they've already surpassed that right now with 9. Larry gives it off to Like a Pro. Had 14 assists last year against the Boston Celtics. That was his high.
Why would you do this? And then we're like, okay, well, now
good.
we see why.
We're in, yeah. Like a Pro, lefty jam.
That's it. If you just catch the bigger man out of position, he's not going to be able to get back in time. He's trying to get for you to go down low, and just a nice utilize of the lefty slam there. You're just not getting the performance that you got out of these Raptors guys from that first game that we saw against the Mavs whatsoever.
We're going to have a foul, but it's a technical, and every foul after that results in a technical. Like a Pro, in and out. So that's a great question coming in. If you guys have questions, I know Phil's rocking in the chat. We got many great moderators hanging out with you. And I keep an eye on it every once in a while. 90 seconds to go in the half. Quay, no way. Trey, yes sir. Well, trifecta brings Arkansas.
Starting to get some scores now, but it's just on the defensive end, things haven't been there all too well. It's almost like they're trading blows at this point. You're just looking to try to bridge that gap. And for this Raptors team, we saw them up by 15 against the Mavs. They blew it, and then they just end up coming storming back. So you cannot write this team off, because once that defense starts to get flowing for both these guys, things start to look very good. And we really got Kenny any sort of easy ones. It was running on a 3-on-2, so you had so many options to work with.
Someone in the chat talking about maybe Kita being the rookie of the year. Who do you think, chat? All the rookies that are in the league that came in through the draft over there in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Who is going to be this year's rookie of the year? It is way too early to predict that. Sick with a nice board. Six got the purple hair, don't care. Up ahead to Larry, he corrals it. Working on the block. And Strainer. Darkni9ht29.
And Strainer too lives in actually like West Texas, I think it is. So actually puts him on the West Coast servers for the combine. And I think he ended up finishing 37-3 in the combine, only losing 3 games. It is locked to whatever region that you're playing in too. So obviously a lot of the more competitive players are in the East, but the fact that somebody can go 37-3 where you're being put with random teammates, super, super impressive, and average so many points per game in the process as well.
That lob was not terrible. It wasn't bad. It was bad. 11.2 to go. Hey, I'm all about the lob. Got to know when to use it. 5 seconds left in the half. Strainer gets it to Larry. Larry, okay. Big what up to those in the Twitch chat that, hey, without an audience, we have no purpose. So appreciate you spending some time with us here on a Tuesday. We're here every day this week, including our single elimination. That'll happen on Saturday, part of the 130,000 passed out to open up the season. Just a $1.2 million prize pool.
A brand new season too, so obviously first day live, this tip-off tournament. If anybody has any questions about the game, the players, whatever it is, your way into this. Maybe you just watch real basketball and never watched this. We're here to make the ride easy and the little transition easy for you too into the video game world.
This is the camera that we call the 2K view. This is actually the view they play in. So that's why it's preferred. But you can learn a lot by watching too. Sick off. But Larry with a huge offensive rebound.
Big goal.
Larry now with 4 boards. Trying to become the Windex man. Shot clock running down. Sick in the corner. Got it.
See, I tell you, it's just the corner dots is what he loves to go to every single time. And you can see that's what he's looking at. As soon as they just shift out of position, that's always where he's trying to look to pass the ball. And that's one of the adjustments that you have to make at this point. I mean, it's not killing too hard. You do have 2 threes coming from that corner, so maybe just try to step up the defense a little bit. When he cuts in, you know he's looking for the right corner each time.
Question coming in from King of Greens, who threw me shade earlier already. But what do you think is going to be the most used build in the league?
Archetype-wise?
Yeah.
Play sharp with the 1. Obviously, I think that's a kind of a given. Maybe the play shot creator from what we saw in the Mavs game. And they're going to jump between the sharpshooting rebounder or the pure glass cleaner. At the 4 is probably we're going to see a lot of the variation with some of the builds. The athletic sharp, you got the sharpshooting rim protector, and you have the rebounding sharp as well. So I think that's where we'll see the most. But for the other positions, for small forward, what we're seeing, shot sharp, maybe a pure lock. What you're seeing right now in these first couple games is probably the most used build.
Wow, Kenny got work. Superman action. So he's now got 6 points. Strainer and all hell Trey lead all scorers with 13. Sick. And can't get it to go. He'll head to the stripe. This is game number 2 of the day. But they're on the other end of the script in this one.
Yeah, they definitely are. We said that with the 3 teams, it's always that potential of maybe just splitting it, just going 1-on-1, and it ends up going to the tie. But we have to look back too when we talk about the point system. Think of how many points the Raptors have with the quarters that they've won. I mean, if you're looking at the game, maybe you're looking at it from that perspective. If the Raptors are able to steal some quarters here, even if they don't come out with a win, that definitely puts them high and above still. But you basically want to kind of guarantee yourself quarter 3 and quarter 4 to try to get back in this one. If you're not trying to play for a win, but there's still plenty of time, more than enough time to make something happen.
So when the Cavs play the Mavs, I mean, what's going to happen there based on what we've seen? They're regrouping right now, I can tell you that. Got a 2K out on the break. Gets baseline and gets it blocked. Still alive. Larry Arian chasing down. And he's going to get called for steps. Studio to it. A dead halt. Traveling. Gotta be careful with those ball fakes. Every once in a while you get caught for taking steps. Able to hang with it here. It's just a 15-point game. I mean, at any point they're going to make a run. They haven't made a run yet in this game.
You're seeing a pick and roll defense being played with Larry. It's sick in there. One, you got the 2 biggest guys on the court, smallest guys in the point guard, and then in the center. And we've seen them switch that on occasion. And so they're not really sticking with one defensive set. They're mixing it up, throwing different looks over towards Doza. And that's where you can kind of give them the credit for just slowing down the 3-point shot. Because I mean, as soon as you add in that length with those defensive badges, a lot of those shots are going to be off.
A 2K. If you're having a bad day, just go watch that interview This guy will instantly turn around.
It's got to be #1 interview. Has to
absolutely.
Be. If you don't include the Kobe Yusuf calm you down, but that was done on 2K TV. But in the actual like post-game interviews, that takes the cake 100%.
Isolation cam here. Trey in the corner. Quay with a second chance. No. And they'll foul Larry in transition. The battle of the boroughs. The Knicks are going to get their championship rings. Tip is scheduled around 8 p.m. I mentioned before, this is that sort of isolation player cam. We're going to have a lot of different views this year. The folks over at 2K have done a good job giving us some variety here for season 2. I don't want to get into the whole broadcast versus 2K cam debate, but it's nice for a little variety when you got 50 games going on in a week. And that's still loose. Cue the Benny Hill theme. Raptors need a 3 here.
This is a great step up by Larry. This is just the experience, and a lot of this game is just very defensive, and that's how you know if a team's going to be good. It's just how well they swing for each other, how well they're just able to pick up somebody if they see that they're open, and making sure that you don't have to worry about your opposition scoring because somebody has your back. That's where the ultimate trust comes in, and for Larry to step up there, that's something that you're going to see quite a bit.
Well, we got a foul. That gives me an opportunity to check him.
I mean, obviously, if you have the 2K experience, that puts you up there as well, but we start to see a lot of the transition from some guys who have coached, like you said, at the professional level, the G League. We've seen a couple of those guys. Austin Peterson, the coach of the Cavs right now. Tommy Abenauer's helped out with the Golden State Warriors G League team, too. And then you also have guys who come from the community. You famous enough, LT of the Mavs, Kurt from the Nets. So there's really a lot that plays into it. Obviously, the X's and O's are 100% going in favor of those real professional coaches, but then also there's the aspect where people might even favor the 2K knowledge just over top of that, with knowing the archetypes and how the core structure of the game plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue that point for a while. I think it depends on the roster that you have. If you got guys that are sort of like player coaches anyway, that know a lot about the game, then why not bring somebody in that's good at managers doing the league? It's just like you're trying to get 6 guys to get along together.
And 100% too, like a player like 1 through 5, we saw at DevDOS last year, 1 through 5 could 100% play in this league at the high level. I mean, he's played with these guys for so long. And he's a guy who could step in and be a player if they really needed him to, you know? So there's different variations to it. At the end of the day, it comes down to what the organization prefers. If they're more in the know of esports, maybe guess what? They're going to go with a guy who plays the game more over vice versa. But plenty of things that do factor into it, but obviously it's a job. There's an application process, just not you're picking up Jimmy from the block and saying, hey, come coach our team.
Well, that'll be a shot clock violation. You see Larry with a little takeover going on his glass cleaner. It's been
He's either a lurker or just somebody just kind of gets funneled through, or a great mod team by saying, get out of here with the negativity. We don't want to see it.
I'm fine with it. I'm always trying to get better. Fourth quarter. 6 minutes on the clock. It's going to have to be a heck of a fourth quarter here by the Raptors.
This is where you're probably
get back into it.
On the defensive end, you'll probably see Larry switch on to the pick and roll. Part of that plays into the fact that the Mavs just have a team of not necessarily all rookies, 3 rookies, and then just the 2 vets as well. That also plays a factor in it. You got 3 guys who never played on a big stage like this. It's going to be hard to get everybody in. And meanwhile, you look at these teams, that these are all guys who are returning. Apart from just Strainer on the side of Cavs Legion and Slim coming in for Raptors Uprising. This is why you're seeing these guys play at this level. People think it's as easy, hey, get me on the stage, I'm going to drop this many points. When the lights are on you, you got the cameras everywhere, you got the crowd rooting against you, talking to you as well. You'll start to realize that things will not go your way.
Oh, the crowd definitely plays a factor. Sick. In and out. Raptors going to have to hit some 3s to get back in this ball game. Kenny's just all alone under the hoop. They'll cut the lead back to 12. Kenny's got 8 after scoring 17 in the first game. Strainer's got 13. Larry's got 12. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists for Larry in his debut.
It's really just the powerhouse big 3 that they retained, who have just been showing up for this team. And this is where you need to get the scoring from. If you're not getting it from your point guard, find other avenues in which way to get it. That's what you've been doing. You don't even have the offensive. Obviously, every single power forward archetype has the offensive archetype in terms of shooting. but you don't have the athletic in it. So you've still been able to get a lot of finishes down low, whether that's from putbacks. You're getting some assists as well, which can come from break starters. That's something that's underrated this year too, is that a lot of centers, you're going to see those assist numbers being pretty high.
Like a pro. Working against the shot clock here. Gets it off the Sick. Sick to Darkni9ht29. Offensive rebound. Won't be a fresh 24. Remember, they changed the shot clock to 14 on the rebound. That's a long three. Trey comes up with the board. Here comes the Raptors back the other way. Kenny, little pump fake. Get to the elbow. Chana defense coming in now from the Cavs. Trey on a wrap. Here comes Cavs Legion. 12-point lead. It's went stingy in his first almost 2 minutes of the fourth.
Double range with the points and the rebounds, but also shooting effectively 4 of 5 from the field. And Strainer, he's 4 of 9, 3 of 5 from the three, 13 points to his name. He's getting some rebounds, some assists as well. Things are just really, really clicking for those 3 positions on this Cavs Legion squad.
He's taking up a lot of this shot clock.
Here comes the Crab.
Really trying to shorten up this. Larry, what a midi. Can't get it to go. Here comes Trey. Boy, 3-pointer right here makes it a single-digit ball game. And someone's camping out. Sick is down there with a.
About it yesterday too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that many offensive 3 seconds, but maybe if you're thinking, hey, the ball is coming to me, or they're going to shoot, you're going to sit yourself down and you're going to think, hey, well, it's going to come at some point. By the time that happens, well, guess what? It's already been blown for a whistle. Offensive
for the 3 seconds. Like a pro. Gets it to Larry. Strainer now, who maybe on his way to be a player of the game. He takes that 3. Dr. Dre.
Usually Strainer's been playing on like a 6'4" pure sharp build this year just to get off a quicker jump shot, but Hill's right at home with a 6'8", and for somebody who's not afraid to shoot, you love the added height going on to these builds too, with the added deep range deadeye. That's where you're gonna see him make shots like that more often than not.
Well, he's feeling it now. Doesn't use the window.
We got it back.
For the hustle. They've been smothering since the tip. Next ball game, you're going to have Cavs and Mavs. A Strainer almost able to throw it down. They keep possession, 5 to shoot. Ain't got time for that. But the Raptors back the other way. They give it to Quay. You're to a point now where you almost need solely 3-pointers.
And you're getting to the territory too for Cavs Legion now, where you could have been in that the entire game, to where now you're just sitting there saying, guess what, no 3-pointers whatsoever. And that's all you really have to do. Play high on the pick and roll, even play sides if you have to. Everybody stay home, and towards Sharp is going to be able to. So if you're Larry, this is why you can see you start to force Doza towards this left side, get things pinchy.
Got it, 2K and 1. That might be the exclamation mark as Marcus Glenn trying to get 3 points the old-fashioned way, and he will.
Cavs Legion winning this quarter here as well. I mean, plenty of times, only 6-2. It shows the defensive effort coming in from both sides. But just look at the score of the game and look at Darkni9ht29. That is now his 8th steal. I don't know what the steal record is in the league, where it comes down from plucking Doza when he's coming up the court. Maybe forces Doza to pick up his dribble and is able to play the pass back over towards the center. He's been a nuisance, and this is why everyone would call him last year one of the best defenders that we had in the league, and he's backing it up right here in their debut.
Honest with you, set the tone for a rookie making his debut. I know we're just in our 2nd game, but he's had the best tone.
So it's another one too, because it's so hard to just be so clear cut because of the performance on offense from Larry, rebounds coming in from him as well. Sick with the points that he's added on in, the assist work that you usually don't see from big men. I mean, these are the 3 guys that you can sit there from playing with at home here on the stage.
53-37 as Kenny goes to the stripe. 17 in the first game. He's got 11 in this one.
That free throw is always, you remember that was last year Arsenal ran that. He sits there and they release it. It's almost like a Lonzo type thing.
Do not like. Do not want. 15-point game. Larry, Euro jam! He's been so efficient. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Of him and Strainer have been too much for Toronto. For me, the player of the game's got to be Strainer. He just came out. And Larry's had he has been a huge part of this. But I'm expecting that from Larry.
Exactly.
The
yeah.
game he had, I'm expecting it.
It was
sure.
Players in the league knew how good he was if he got into the right system. But if you've only watched Pro-Am, you've seen what Strainer can do. But coming into the league, you sit there and there's always these questions, okay, well, how is this rookie going to do? How is this one going to do? And this is a debut, especially the fact that it was against a double lockdown setup coming in from Raptors Uprising. Maybe you'd sit there and say, okay, it's not as impressive if you're just going up against somebody who isn't a pure lock. But he just dropped 16 on a pure lock and only missed 3 threes in the process. I mean, some of the misses came from those missed alley-oops that we saw, the failed attempts. So you can't even really like mark if there was a couple times where maybe get a little bit too heady, so you got to steal and you're like, I'm taking this coast to coast, and then you create contact. Well, I'm gonna miss the shot. But yeah, that's, like you said, we only seen 2 games, but rookie performance so far, that one's gonna be not super hard to top, but you're setting the expectation now.
Larry can't hit at the end, but Strainer.
100%.
16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. And they let us know that the player of the game.
I got a bitch, I call it Tiffany. I always say that she to me. No, I'm lying because we used to be so close. Now it seems we enemies. In a situation we ain't supposed to be. Wanna say fuck it, you get close to me. Even though I'm wildin' and you know I'm lying, I'm just trying to be the man I'm supposed to be. Cause I don't wanna be alone again. Broken on the bottom on my own again. I know you're tired of the way I'm living life, but I'm just trying to get back in my zone again.